This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sent.
I'm Sil.
And we're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 11, Stacia and Nate.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the episode where one of the experts comes back. This time, I guess, thank goodness, we got Dr. Pepper instead of Pastor Cal, because he didn't do a whole lot last time. But our couple, Stacia and Nate, our favorite couple, is doing well. So it was good to see them continue on that path and to hear what Dr. Pepper had to say about their progress.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it opens out with Dr. Pepper just asking them kind of to recap what's gone on. And Stacia was saying that they struggled at first because she's the type of person who likes to move fast. She feels like she knows what she wants. She's doing these things to show where she is.
Yeah.
Now you show me.
Yes.
Right.
But which goes to right back to what we were saying about her being acts of service. She wants to see that action. She wanted to put it in action. Mm-hmm. Show me. And she so much has said that in this episode.
Yeah. So she was explaining that Nate likes to move slower. Mm-hmm. And to which Dr. Pepper responded, rightfully so, like, you didn't marry you. You didn't marry yourself. Yeah. So you can't look for those things. If you look for yourself and your partner, you're obviously not going to find it. You're obviously going to be disappointed. Yes. And that's exactly right. Mm-hmm. For Dr. Pepper, I mean, we didn't have any problem with the advice that she was giving there because that was very much on point and is accurate as far as what happened for them. She was hitting a roadblock and actually irritating Nate in asking him for exactly what she was doing, asking him to be the male version of herself.
Yes.
So we saw her shift from that. We saw her try at least a little bit to speak in his love language, although I haven't seen a ton. I still see him more so coming along to her side. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's a concern of yours at this point, or if you think they can sustain that way.
Well, no, it's going to come more into play, the way he's going to be speaking more about what he needs and his vision for the marriage and everything right now. But right now, at this particular point, he is trying to be really positive and really is trying to feed more into what Stacia wants.
Yeah, and he is, but I know that he has that edge to him. And one of the reasons that I know is because as the guys were all sitting together, if you guys saw the episode already, you know, it opened up kind of with all the guys talking about Ben's issue.
Yes.
And every time that Nate has an opportunity to like speak on something, on somebody, he's very opinionated.
He is.
And he was quick to say, you know, Ben has got to speak up for himself and not let Morgan dominate the conversation, the situation in any way. Yes. So I know that he has like the ability to give a lot of pushback to Sasha. We saw that 2 episodes ago. I don't know if we're going to see it again. Yeah. But I'm concerned that we might. Yeah. Because I still see him doing most of the giving.
He is. But in just about any type of relationship in the beginning, there's going to be someone who's going to be giving more, and someone's going to be receiving more. And then eventually it begins to shift a little bit, you know, to where you're going to see that other person start to give a little bit more. And typically...
You hope you see that.
Right? Typically, in the beginning, it's the man that's going to be giving a little bit more, trying to get on the woman's page because, again, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, women want to feel safe. And so men are kind of like a little bit more engineered to try to get on the woman's page to make her feel safe for where the direction of the relationship is going.
Yeah. So I guess the session with Dr. Pepper closes out with Nate explaining how he is, that he's very concise, kind of goes along with, you know, his upbringing. And Dr. Pepper suggesting that they actively listen to one another. Giving advice about holding hands when they have arguments. I don't know about that. Y'all let me know what you think about that. That ain't something we've done before. I don't know. I mean, I get it. She's saying that it creates more intimacy. It makes you feel more connected in the moment and gives you the ability, which is what she was getting at, to attack the problem, you know.
And not each other.
Right. Not treat you as the problem or me as the problem, but treat the problem as the problem. And hey, we're going to attack this as a team.
Yeah.
I can get behind that without holding your hand, I think. I mean, what?
Well, I think it's, again, Stacia needs to feel safe with the relationship.
Yeah.
And so when they're having their issues or they're having a heated discussion, whereas she can interpret Nate being upset and maybe he's not gonna stay, he's gonna leave or whatever. It's just something to reassure her that yes, he's angry, but he's not going anywhere. Feel safe with this. I am angry, but I'm right here with you. Yeah, that's all it is.
I guess it's a little extra for me.
Yeah.
A little over the top.
Yeah.
Because if I'm angry, and hey, y'all let me know what y'all feel about this, honestly. If I'm mad at you, like if I'm really mad at you, I don't want to hold your hand. I don't. I don't. Like,
okay.
I'm just saying.
Baby, you're going to have to hold my hand.
No. I'm not doing that. I want to sit on one side of the couch and you sit on the other side of the couch. Now, we can talk it out. I'm not saying I'm going to curse you out, but I don't want to necessarily hold your hand.
Yeah.
So, I
don't know, man. You might say something. I might not want to hold your hand either. I don't know. But I do get the premise of it.
Yeah.
Though, especially if one of the two is not feeling safe and feel like they're going to be left or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if they feel like, man, this person is so angry with me, there's no coming back, or the thing, I just feel it. I feel the anger. I feel the anger and all of this different type of stuff. And so it's to let that other person know, you know what? I am angry, but I'm still in love with you. I'm just angry at this situation. I'm angry at what you said, or I'm angry at what you did, but I'm not hateful towards you. That's all it is.
I understand what it is. Yeah. I just don't think I would want to do that.
Well, different strokes for different folks. But I tell you what, since you done said that, next time we have a disagreement, I don't want to say argument. Next time we have a disagreement, you gonna hold my hand.
We're not gonna do that. Yeah, that's gonna be a whole new fight. Don't try to touch me.
And what she do, I'm gonna come right back on here and I'm gonna tell you. Guess
with
what?
His black eye.
I can have a black eye. Man, come on.
So finally, I mean, we already knew they had consummated the marriage.
Yeah.
Pretty much from the after party last week. They confirmed it again for sure.
Yes.
For us in this episode. I don't think that is huge necessarily for them. I mean, they were already very intimate. They already had a lot of chemistry, but I guess that just took them to a different level.
Yeah.
For Sasha, she did say that made her feel more secure.
More secure
in the marriage. So I mean, good for her. Everything's going in her way. I just would hate to see things not go her way as much before this 8 weeks is up.
That is good. I mean, because I think for a lot of women, I think after having sex, I think it could make the woman feel a little bit less secure.
But they're married. I mean, I get that in any other situation except for a marriage. That should make you feel connected.
True.
Right?
It should.
Like any other time, you don't have the security of that sacred bond if you do it prior to marriage. And so, I get it. You're like, okay, I'm out there. Like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
But in this instance, that should make her feel more secure, I think.
Yeah.
Unless she's really, really afraid he's going to walk away at that 8-week mark. And I don't see that happening.
No, not what they've been showing up to this point, no.
Yeah. So this is also the episode, which happens every season, where the experts ask the couples to write a note to their little self.
Yeah.
At a pivotal point or a significant point in their life. So we saw them kind of read their letters to themselves. Yeah. I didn't feel like there was anything necessarily that was particularly revealing that I hadn't heard before. Sasha wrote two notes to herself when she was, I think, 1st through 8th or something like that, and then her high school self, talking about her transition from school, I guess transferring schools or something like that, and how that would be hard. She revealed that she was very shy. She wasn't like one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
I don't see that having played into their marriage right now.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot for right now, like you said, out of either one of their letters that can feed into their marriage right now, because most of it was about them solely just empowering their younger selves.
Yeah. I mean, right. it was kind of parallel because Nate, he had a similar experience where he really didn't feel like he fit in. He came from, was it England? He moved from, or correct us because I'm probably wrong.
Or whatever.
He came not from America. Coming to America, being raised by a single dad, which is not all that common, and kind of standing out. So, you know, he talks about him being like a little bit uncomfortable, awkward. You know, he acknowledged that he was very intelligent, smarter than the smartest kid in any grade. We heard that day. We see you.
He did.
And Stacia was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he stepped up that brag thing, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. But I'm not mad at him for that. It was a tough time. I mean, so many kids, so many teenagers have such a hard time adjusting. Yeah. So, yeah, I think any of us, if we could encourage our little selves, we would, you know, and we saw everybody kind of get emotional about that. And I think it's a very emotional exercise. I applaud the experts for that one. I mean, they've been doing it forever. I'm glad that they're continuing to do it because it does something. But for them, I mean, it was a positive experience, but I don't think it was anything that was like relationship altering, like we will see as we talk about some of the other couples in our other videos.
Yes, stay tuned.
So, I think then we got a chance to see them go to their neighborhoods.
Yes.
Okay. So next scenes we're seeing, I think first Nate, or was it Sasha that went to her neighborhood first?
It was Nate.
Okay. So he went to his neighborhood. They talked to his dad.
Yeah.
That was very moving, I think, for me anyway.
Okay, why? Why was it so moving?
Because Nate said during this talk, you know, Sasha asked his dad, how was it? You know, how did you do it raising, you know, being a single dad, raising your kids?
Yeah.
You know, and he immediately got emotional. He didn't even hardly get any words out before he was kind of tearing up, getting choked up. And that for Nate, which he acknowledged right there on TV, was his first time seeing his dad cry. That's emotional for me for two reasons. For one, you know, it's always hard to see a very stern man come to tears about anything, but you know how passionately he felt about his kids, because he was essentially saying, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like, and this is how single moms feel all the time too. He can relate. Like, what else am I gonna do? These are my kids. If there's nobody else for them, it's gonna be me. So that is something that moms, dads alike, they get emotional about. And to see his dad, a non-emotional guy, get emotional about that and get emotional in front of his son, who he really doesn't want to show that side to, that's a big deal. And it also spoke to me because, and we talked a little bit about this, Nate being as low emotion as he seems to be, he still leaps and bounds beyond where his dad is. So in Stacia looking at him in a bubble, just Nate alone, she's like, you know, where's the emotion? Where's, you know, this openness? Where's your vulnerability? And for him, he's way more emotional, way more vulnerable than his dad. So everything is relative. And her having an opportunity to see that, to see how his dad is, and to see his growth from his dad's level to where he is now, I think that should be huge for her. If she can process that in a proper way, that should be a big deal for her.
I totally agree with you. I mean, his dad didn't say much, but you felt every syllable of what he was trying to articulate, you know. And so, was he in his feelings? He most definitely was. And so again, Nate's coming from, like he says, I'm more of a concise type person, and so give me the headlines, and I'm gonna give you the headlines. I don't need to really get into the details, especially when we're talking about emotions and feelings and things of that sort. And so this whole being able to articulate your emotions is somewhat new to Nate, but I think he is definitely far more advanced than what his dad is. His dad was feeling it, but he couldn't put it into words. You know, and so Nate, he can put some of it into words, maybe not to the liking that Stacia wants him to, but he is, you know, able to kind of formulate. So that was pretty moving. It actually was.
So when we move on to the scene of Stacia and her neighborhood, she talks a little bit about her hustle, how she made denim purses for I guess the other kids in the school, and then had their names put on them at the mall. And Nate was really admiring her hustle and recognizing their similarities, which I think is also big. I'm surprised, honestly, if they never talked about that before. I hope that they were just playing that up for the camera, because I'm like, well, what else have y'all been talking about? Like, you didn't share this with the hustle man himself. So I don't know. I think that was for camera's sake. Of course, then she took them to a family. Now I've already forgotten the family's name. I don't think it's terribly important. But
no, it's not. Go ahead.
To the family that took her in her senior year in high school.
Yeah, that was cool.
She said she was a volleyball player. The mom of her friend didn't want her to have to be separated from the group, from the friends, from the high school at that late stage in her high school career, and offered to take her in. And I think that was a big deal. And it seems like she got a lot just out of that short amount of time in the experience of having like a 2-parent household.
Yes.
And dad being the dad in that household, being a dad.
Yes. Being that protector. I like the story that he gave. When she was getting ready to go out on a date, the guy blows the horn and she's about to run out. And he's just like, oh, no, that's not how we do this.
Right.
And so I just thought, like, how many times has this happened to where there wasn't a father in the home, and the little girl or the young girl runs out to the car, and the parent or whoever's in the house doesn't even know who's in the car with it.
My dad was the same way with me. It was he's gonna ring that doorbell. But you need
come in
without having a man step up and say that, or a mom who's very dominant to step up and say that. You as a girl, you'll never learn that. So I thought that was, like you said, a really good story for him this year.
Yes.
Because it shaped her in some way. I think even though it might have just been that one time, it had a huge impact.
Yes, absolutely. So I thought the whole exchange that they had with Nate, I thought it was very positive. And he even commented on that, saying that the energy in the room was really good.
Yeah.
And so I think that was beneficial for everyone that was sitting around in that living room that day.
Yeah. I think also I took from Stacia's shared experience, her neighborhood, her hustle, things like that. She looked like she said she grew up in an apartment.
Yes.
And she showed that, I think, earlier on.
Yes.
It didn't look bad. Like, they looked nice to me. Yes. But she was like, I've come from humble beginnings. She did feel like she had to do a little hustling, which not everybody had to do when they were kids, So her focusing, her being very like money driven, career driven, wanting to have more to share with her children, to pass on a legacy to them. I understand it a lot. Now, why does that translate into her relationship and the way that she wants to handle relationships in such a transactional way?
Yeah. Not
quite sure where those dots connect. But at least we got a little bit of insight into her personality.
Exactly. I don't have anything else to add on that, to be honest with you. I think the whole exchange between them this week, it was absolutely magnificent. It was beautiful. They still are both of our favorite couple.
Yeah.
And to see them continually to progress is a wonderful thing. And I think also when Stacia even acknowledged how deep Nate was getting or going with his emotions and being able to share, I mean, she's tickled over the moon right about now.
That's why I'm nervous, because they got 3 weeks left in this process, and I know something is going to happen between now and then that might be disruptive. But for right now, I'll just enjoy the fact that our favorite couple is doing well.
Yeah.
But I got one more question for my husband. That is, on a scale from 1 to 10, I know this couple didn't need a lot in terms of help from our expert, from Dr. Pepper, but we usually, at least on our own, score the experts.
Yes.
So while we're on camera, on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you give Dr. Pepper and her handling of this couple?
I think Dr. Pepper did a pretty good job, and 10 being the best, I'm going to give her about a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
Because again, like you said, this couple didn't need a lot of help.
Yeah, it was an alley-oop.
It was. The problem that they had, 2 weeks ago, they already pretty much dealt with it and got beyond it without the expert.
Yeah.
So I would say the only thing she came in to reinforce the solutions that they already put in place. I would have loved to have seen her kind of delve in a little bit more with some of the things that could arise.
Yeah.
Get ahead of some of the issues.
Well, they got to allow some more drama to happen, baby. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a show.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. What score do you give her?
I mean, it was an alley-oop. I'm tough on people. So I'm going to say a 6. Like, she didn't do bad. I just feel like it was easy for her. Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot she had to do. She probably could have looked in a book of motivational sayings and came up with the same things that she said. It wasn't bad, but I don't, like you said, she didn't really give them tools to tackle anything further. And that's why I guess I would score her at that level. Yeah. That low. Yeah. So, I mean, like she did say the whole hands. I'm not impressed with that. So maybe that's why my number is so low. Everything else I think was just general standard advice. Yeah. And she came behind the solution to the problems, right? Like they already resolved these problems. So, if she came in 2 weeks ago while they were in the middle of that dispute and she kind of got them to where they are now, then it'd be a whole different thing for me.
Yes. Well, you know what? Let me get in on this a little bit. If we were able to talk to Nate and Stacia, I think I would probably tell them, get prepared, because everything is really nice right now. And not to be cynical or anything like that, but continue.
It's the honeymoon phase.
Yes, continue to do the work, because things are going to arise, and problems are going to come from sometimes the outside, sometimes the inside. And so get prepared for whatever may happen,
Well, they're both in counseling, real counseling, not Dr. Pepper's counseling. So hopefully, they can deal with that, or they'll even be open to do relationship counseling. But, right now, so far, so good with them, our favorite couple. Let us know which couple is your favorite couple. I think we just are skewed in thinking everybody's favorite couple is Stacia and Nate. Yeah. But let us know what yours is. Outside of that, guys, we will be back with another video shortly. So like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.